Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, today we've got a map which is very clearly upside down. Now, something I've been aware of for quite some time now is maps load in upside down, and some map makers are really good at actually making the maps upside down so that when they load in the right way up. Does that make any sense? Anyway, today's map quite clearly is meant to look like this, but I'm not going to go choosing which way up a map should go, so I will always review the maps the way that they load in, which today is the Australian version of the Paradox logo. Oh, hang on, before we get going, have you grabbed your BonBonBingo card yet? If you haven't, link is at the top of the description. They're for free, and it's all for a little bit of extra fun as we go through the show with the daily memes. Speaking of daily memes, there's a daily meme coming up right now. You know what to do. That's right, hitting that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's map is Paradox Island by azamazz. Azamazz, what a great name and good idea. Take the logo, make a map of it. Why not? There's your start square. I think the start square, underneath the thumbnail, that's where the road comes in. Terrain heights relatively flat today with just a few interesting mountains for texture. Resources are good and strong, definitely resources going on today. And if you have Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, your fishing map will look like this. Okay, off to the workshop. What the heck do we need? And the answer is mass transit. You will need mass transit. It's a mass transit map. You will need it for this one. There is a short description with just the basic information. What more can you ask for? We'll be using the vanilla tropical theme and the realistic 1.2 LUT today. Right, so the map quite clearly is an island, and we have an outside connection which is a little bit different from any that I've seen before. Yes, it's a tunnel coming in from the... Let's go and have a little look at how it comes in. And it is a bit clunky right here, out deep in the fog. I don't mind this too much. It's going to be hidden in the fog. I mean, it's clearly some effort's being made to have it going into one of these tunnels. And it's nicely framed. But yeah, we've got a little bit of glitching and stuff. But do you know what? I don't care. I don't care, because it's all about that over there. Now, when I say it's a little bit different from any we've seen before, you can clearly see that we have got some pre-built infrastructure down here. The national road going all the way around the edge of the island. We'll have a look at that in a moment. But the tunnel actually comes out over here. This little dead end here. All framed off there with the old fencing and stuff like that. And yes, no glitching. Good to see. But yeah, it doesn't actually connect directly to the pre-built infrastructure. That I thought was an interesting little touch, given that there is pre-built infrastructure in place. I just thought I'd bring that up as a talking point. Anyway, down to ground level we have mass transit 2-lane highways, and we'll follow it around the length of the island. I think you know what shape the island is going to be, like a crescent moon type shape. But of course, it is the Paradox logo, and I'm not exactly sure what the Paradox logo is supposed to be. Some sort of like fossilized thing. Is it? Is that what it is? Somebody tell me. I haven't quite ever worked that one out. Having said that, I'm going to tell you, very pleased to see the wind map of this. I don't normally show the wind map because you never get anything from it. But it looks like an X-ray. Here's your wind map. Looks just like that. I mean, wow. Just wow. Anyway, yes. So yeah, we have the wind map. Now we have got a little bit of lane mathematics going on there, sort of mathematics as such, where we have a little side routes going off and around. We'll have a look at that a little bit later on. A little bit of encroaching foliage, trees under the highway there, which I'm not going to fret too much about on today's map. Yes, it's not a good thing. It's always a bit of a down mark, but it's less important because this is meant to be a vanilla map, and if you're playing vanilla, you're not going to be playing mods. If you're not going to be playing mods, you're not going to have prop and tree anarchy, and if you haven't got prop and tree anarchy, you won't have that set to on because you won't have it at all, which means that the trees will not be showing through the roads. Therefore, it's not really a huge problem. They are still part of the tree count, which is sort of important, but I don't think we're hitting the tree limit anywhere near close on today's map, so it's not really something, again, that's really going to affect things. But yeah, there are a few trees showing through the roads that your typical player of this map will not encounter. And so there you go. Again, we've got some, I'm going to call it lane mathematics here. We've got to go up to 3 lanes, just wide enough to allow traffic to peel off and take the scenic route around the other side of the hills, which we'll check in the second half of this show. All told, my overall thought on this map is aesthetically, do you know what? I think it could have been a disaster. And it's far from that. I like the way this has been framed off as well, with the highway going either side of it, and a little bit of encroaching foliage again there as well. And this will bring us up to the end of the island, where we'll see a few little set pieces as well. But yes, it could have been an absolute disaster. It certainly isn't a disaster. I'm not so sure about the key here. I think I probably would have liked that to be cleaned up with the an interesting little housing area there as well. But anyway, we'll have a look at some of this stuff in the second half of the show, shall we? Meanwhile, let's have a very brief intermission.
Wouldn't it be great if Cities Skylines had tides within the game? Well, now it does, thanks to TPB's Tides mods. Want to know more? Then you need BonBonB's Tides tutorial. Click the information button below.
And so back to Paradox Island by azamazz. Now we have shipping routes. Well, one shipping route that goes just over halfway around the island. There's one part of the island where you're probably not going to be able to get ships going into if you want them on that part. So just give a little bit of consideration when you're planning out your harbour, because there will be bits that you won't be able to harbour. Okay? Okay. And then this heads off towards the edge of the map over here. Clearly air routes in place as well. No rail on today's map. Okay, we've got water flow. Or we haven't really got water flow. That's your start square. We've got a little bit of access to this very light lake here. So you could do some stuff there. But then we also have the bay over here where you've got a little bit of, tiny little bit of water motion, but not really anything that great. And then a little bit of access to this bit over here as well. Be careful is all I can say. If you're going to play vanilla rules, be careful. Or base game rules, of course. Right, okay, now down here, we've got these little houses down here, which is an interesting little aesthetic, along with the 3 vanilla piers, and of course the ship, and everybody's favourite factory. The key I would like to see cleaned up a little bit though. And the essential lighthouse. You know you want me to say it for your bingo card. I'm going to say it for the bingo card. The beaches I don't mind actually. The beaches I don't mind. Probably a few more trees than I'd like, but you know what? They're clearly defined by biome, and on those beaches you only have the vanilla palm trees there. And so while it's not to my personal taste, I can't mark it down at all. I can't. I just can't mark it up. Then we have promised you to have a little look at this little spin-off road that heads off around the other side of these mountains. Little bit of a grumble with this bridge here. It looks like there should be some pillars or a pillar, or even just like a bow in the bridge to allow a little bit of an arch in there so it could hold its weight, something like that, which would require nodes in the middle, 1 or 2 possibly. Let's have a look, see where these nodes are, because there are no pillars. There are no pillars under there. So where are they? There's one there and one there. So yeah, I'd like a node in the middle, just to elevate it up, you know, 3 or 4 taps of the page up button. And the water spawn point up here, Do you know what? Given the sort of map that it is, I say that works perfectly. Given the sort of map, I wouldn't normally get too excited about that one, but I think it certainly just plays into this map's hand. And yes, we have a whole bunch of trees under the road there, but we've covered that in the first half of today's show. I'm not going to go on about it. Yeah, the beaches. Some of the beaches I really like. The old ridge down here. So you've got the sand running up, and then you've got the bit of erosion away, and then it elevates up a little bit to the buildable plateau. I love that. I like that. Very nice work. And some nice rocky, craggy bits as well. So again, plenty of thought has gone into it, and plenty of work has gone into it. I would say this map, if you hate this map, I'm going to tell you, well, fine, you're allowed to hate it, but it could have been a lot worse. It's actually not too bad at all. We've got everybody's favourite factory. There you go. You get 2 for the price of 1 there. And right at the very end, another essential item. You can't check these off your bingo cards twice, by the way. You can't. Unless, of course, you've got to. There shouldn't be any bingo cards with 2 on there. We have got a little glitch down here. Now, I wasn't sure if this was actually part of the design. Let's pull the camera back for the quick overview, spin the thing around there, and you can't really see it from up here. So I would say that this is actually a glitch, and it's not meant to be there because it's not visible from the overall aesthetic. Or maybe I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Down to the start square, and in the start square, we've got the asset of the day. And today's asset of the day is 6 vanilla burnt out cottages. I think I've got the wrong asset of the day. And let's try that again. And back to the start square, and we have got a very nice asset of the day. This is more like it. The Sleeping Beauty Castle version 2.1 by Dmodels. I'm guessing Dmodels is short for Disney Models. It's glorious. Is it not glorious? It is glorious. I'm loving the way it actually indents into the land as well. So you're going 3 dimensions, up, down, left, right, forward in time, backwards in time. It's just amazing. Absolutely mind blown. And version 2.1. So there's obviously a version. Did we do version 1? Remember, I'm losing track. Factoids because factoids. It's a short one for you, quite literally. Admiral Lord Nelson was only 5 foot 2 inches tall. I think I've told you my Nelson story before on this show. Very briefly, we had a school trip to the Victory, which was Nelson's ship, which is moored permanently in Portsmouth in England. And as we came out of the dark and ducking our heads down under the low, because obviously an old ship, under the low beams or whatever, I came out, I tripped over this little brass plate screwed to the the deck, I guess. And it said, Nelson fell here. And my response was, not surprised with that screwed to the floor. That's true story. I nearly did fall. So Sleeping Beauty Castle version 2.1 by Dmodels. I love this. That is the perfect Saturday asset, I feel. Beautiful, beautiful. So yes, true story from my life there. In the if you get a chance to go to Portsmouth, check out the Victory. Definitely worth a visit. Just mind your step when you're coming out onto the deck. Right, we're there. We've made it. We've made it to the end. What do you think of today's show? Rubbish, I know. But what do you think of the map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now in the top right hand corner of your screen, or the link in the description. It will take you to the voting page where you can vote for free. Right, what do I think of today's map then? I think aesthetically it does the job. It does the job. It is a little bit bland, it is a little bit vanilla, but it's because it is a vanilla map. And yeah, I think they've done the job quite well. This could have been a disaster. This could have been horrible. And it really isn't. I want to go 3 stars. I'm going to go a little above middle 3. Just a little bit. Because I think they've done a valiant effort here. Detailing, yes, a lot of trees under the road. Yes, it has to be marked down. on a vanilla map like this, I can't be too harsh. I'm going to give it 3 stars, but I'll go low 3. Gameplay, I think this is playable. I think this is a once through play. I think it's an uninspiring play, and there might be question marks over the water flow in the start square, but I still think it works. I'm going to go down the middle with a middle 3 stars. Paradox Island by Azamazz. I'm really glad to see it, and I'm really glad to see a good... Did you hear that? Engine. Anybody got sound of engines? Oh, I love the fact that we got bingo now. It's really... Yeah, it has added something to life that we did not have before. Anyway, thanks to all the Patreon BonBon buddies for all your support. The new list will be up on Monday. And if you're still here, that's so grand that you are. Use the words of the day for 100 population points just for fun to prove you're part of the 20 and out elite. And I'll be back tomorrow with the chart show. See you then. Have a great day, and I'll see you very, very soon.